I slept playing possum. You know how we used to do that when you was a kid? You play possum, and you laying there, you're not really asleep, but you want everybody to think that you're asleep so you don't get in trouble. Well, what I did was, while I was doing it, I heard some people whisper in the dark. And what they said in the dark, and they didn't mean anything, they probably didn't really mean this, but they said it. And what you say is very powerful. All right? So here's what they said. They said, that young man in there will never, ever be anything. That's what I heard as a little kid. Now, maybe they said it out of frustration. Maybe they said it because of their own frustration in their lives, and maybe they wasn't reaching certain goals, and they said, well, I'm going to reflect that on this young man who really hadn't gotten started yet. So I had some issues. So what do you think I had to do? I had to reset. So here's where I get this concept from. Anytime I have an issue with my computer, I call the computer company and they say, hey, you know what, sir, we done tried this, try that, let's just do a reset, right? And then when you do the reset, typically things change or get better. And so, right? Oh, okay, thank you. And then on my phone, if you got a smartphone, sometimes these smartphones are too smart. All right, and when you have problems with it, you call the company and they walk you through all the prompts and stuff, and when that doesn't work, they tell you to do what? Reset, thank you, because I want some participation here. I'm not going to take up a lot of your time because y'all had 2 days of resetting. If you didn't know, all that was really just resetting yourself over the last 2 days. I was able to peep in on the line a couple of times and saw some great stuff. And it was just phenomenal these last 2 days. I wish I could have been here, but here I am now. The last thing, I worked with a company, and they would go through their first half of their day in retail. First half of their day, then they would break. And they broke from their normal business, and they did what they call a reset. I said, well, this is fascinating. Let me sit in on this. And the reset was they would go and sit and look at what the customer clientele was like. How do they handle the customers? What things could they do better or differently? And they called it a reset. And I said, I think I got something here. Because we can reset our lives. But there's a couple of areas we need to focus on to make this reset. Anybody up for a reset? Woo! All right, that looks like everybody. Next question, do you want motivation or transformation? Transformation. All right, how about if I give you a little bit of both? Hey. Okay. All right, okay, because I would be kind of, feeling a little funny if everybody just wanted motivation. Because see, motivation without any instructions or no structure is dangerous. You can be motivated and be a motivated idiot. Right? So I'm not saying anybody here, but you can be very motivated and running around in circles. So I don't want you to just be motivated today. I want you to have some transformation today. Got a pen here, so that's good. Contact information. I'm going to give you some resources right out the box. If you want to stay connected with me, by the end of this presentation, if you find that what I told you or telling you today is of value to you, you may want to stay connected with me. All right? Here's some information. Remember y'all, Eric talked about the QR code earlier? I said, let me hurry and put one on there. No, it was already on there. It was already on there. So if you have the scanner, you can scan it and you'll be connected with me via email. Because I send out trainings. Anybody's getting an email from me right now? Okay, right there. Is it helpful? Okay. So if you want that, you want to make sure you stay connected with me. Very easy to do. And I send out videos, so I'm interactive. If I have on a yellow t-shirt when the video comes on, that means it's a workout day. So we actually do some move. I show you a movement, and we just have some fun with that. So you definitely want to get connected with that. Because I believe you got to reset in a couple of areas. You got to reset your mind. Reset your focus. I'm going to spend a little bit of time on focus. Reset your health. I also want to thank today the wellness people that came in today. Did y'all have fun with them? Yeah. I saw y'all on the screen sweating.
I don't know if fun is the right word for it.
I know, right? That was probably the most movement most of us done in a while, right? It was taxing on you. I know. I saw. I was cracking up. I was looking at it falling out over there over 5 minutes, but that's okay. But you gave it a good effort, and effort is everything, right? Say effort. Say reset. Reset. All right, because that's what we're going to do today. First thing we need to talk about is resetting your philosophy. Say philosophy.
Philosophy.
Use your words. I hear people talking to kids, use your words, baby, use your words. So we're going to talk about our philosophy today. And all that is really a philosophy is the basic beliefs that guides your behaviors every day. A basic belief that guides your behavior every day. So whatever it was 2 days ago, today we're going to reset it. So Myles Munro, y'all know Dr. Myles Munro? All right, great guy. He said you cannot live beyond your thoughts or your convictions. So what he's saying to me, I translate to say, if I don't believe it, it ain't going to happen anyway. Or if I believe that I am a footstool, I'm a footstool. If I believe that I'm the tail or the head and not the tail, then I am the head. You got to believe first in you. Is that clear?
Yes.
All right, so let's do that. So, how do you do it? This is probably my only acronym for the day. My uncle was saying I got all these acronyms. Uncle Rick, he's my adopted uncle, so that makes Odessa my adopted aunt. So he said, Tony, you always come up with these acronyms. What do you got for me today? I said, I don't think I have one, but I do. And this is what I've learned over 15 years in the wellness industry. When we used to work together and we wanted to make sure that we stayed above bar, we would use this acronym called Raising the Bar, which meant it was a straight, easy method of making sure we did everything in excellence and kept things in order. So here's how it breaks down. You ready? You got pen and paper ready? All right, here it is. First thing is you have to check your belief systems. And this is very critical because your belief system, just because you believe something doesn't mean it's right. But it is what you believe. And that's critical, and I'll show you why. Your beliefs will affect your attitude. Your attitude towards a certain person, place, or thing, or situation, whatever you believe about that, will affect your attitude. Give you a story about that. I met a gentleman that was actually coaching me on some stuff from a distance. You know, you have coaches from a distance, and they don't really know that they're your coach, but you're watching them on videos or whatever. So I actually had a chance to meet this one gentleman. And after I met him, the conclusion that I came up with was that he didn't like me. That was my belief, that he didn't like me from the first, general session, and I was raising my hand, you know how you try, trying to get attention. I'm like, oh, let me ask that question, I got it. And after the end, he kept ignoring me, and I said, wow, I don't think he likes me. He doesn't want to hear my answers, my inputs. That was my belief system. So that affected my attitude in the classroom. As the class went on, I started to press more and not speak as much as I should have and didn't participate. So that affected my actions. Raising the bar. And I know I spelled it differently, but there's a reason why I spelled it that way, okay? So your belief system affects your attitudes, and your attitude is going to directly affect your actions. So if I believe a certain thing about you, or whatever the person might be or place, my attitude towards you is going to change according to that belief. And then I may act towards you a certain way. Whether I might speak to you, I may not speak to you. Now, is my belief right? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But it's my belief. Then that correlates to whatever results I'm going to get. So let me, change that to your business world. So all of your entrepreneurs, $1 million hustles going on. I love it. Apps that are being created, love it. Books are being written, I love it. But first you got to believe that it's for you. It's for you. I had an issue with, actually for a long time, believing that these benefits and these blessings and stuff was for me. I believed that it was for everybody else. Anybody like that? Oh, look at them, they're doing very well, that's for them. But I had to finally turn my thoughts around and believe that, hey, it's for me. And I know it might be somebody in here right now that over the last 2 days have been listening to all this great stuff. And you're thinking to yourself, really, I already know this. Yeah, that's nice, but it's not for me. I know you didn't. No, because it was me. I was in your seats. I was a kit collector. Yeah. It was written over my forehead. I had everything. And then by the time I would get to my car, my belief system would kick in about about myself. And I would start saying, I'm not going to do this. Raise your hand if you're bold enough to admit that was you. I know there's a couple in you. So today, when I finish, if I can just touch a couple, I've done my job. Because you're going to change today. All right, so here's my question for you today. I want you to think about this. Think about your life. Think about your business. Think about the activities that you're participating in right now. Think about the relationships that you have, the people that you're interacting with. Think about your belief systems, your attitudes, your actions, and the result that you're currently getting. What could you raise the bar right now in your business, in your life? What could you raise the bar in? I want you to take a moment and write that down. This is a workshop, right? Okay, it's a boot camp. Every time I hear the word boot camp, something's going to get dirty. So that's what we're here to do, is get dirty. Right, yeah, we're going to get dirty. I need to keep it clean, because I have a tendency from the stage to say some stuff that I probably shouldn't. So raising the bar, take a moment and just write that out. What are you willing today in your business, relationships, things that you're passionate about? What will you raise the bar in today? It's one thing to have something you're going to use a couple of weeks from now, but I'm going to give you some tools you can use today. Like today, you can think and declare that you're going to raise the bar in one area. You don't have to think about a lot. Give me one. A couple more seconds. Starting to bring it in. Now that you've thought about it, wrote it out, who's brave enough to talk about it? Who's brave enough to stand up, plant your flag, that I heard earlier on the web, I heard about planting your flag. Who's willing to stand up and declare that you're going to raise the bar in what area of your life? Stand up, man. Let's give her a hand. I love it. Go right ahead.
Organization and time management.
Great. We're going to talk about focus, and that's going to dive right into that time management thing. Anybody else on these things? One more person brave enough. My sister, please.
Daily routines of success and continuity.
Thank you very much. Continuity. You want to say it one more time?
Daily.
You want to get close to me? You don't even want to stand up. I told you I'd say some stuff I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. That was Win Murray back there. His name is Win Murray. So say it to him one more time.
Daily routines of success and continuity.
That's what she wanted to raise the bar. Okay? Thank you so much. All right. In order to do that, we have to do what we call self-talk, which really means encouraging yourself. Y'all know the song? Sometimes you have to encourage yourself. Keep going. Sometimes you have to encourage. I sit way in the back at church, so I don't know. So man, go ahead, keep going. Yeah, that's right. Speak the word. And you speak to yourself. Right, yeah, encourage. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. But do you know how to do it?
Yes.
Do you really know how to do it?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to show you some steps or some rules to self-talk. This is from mental skills training that I do, or coaching, mental skills coaching. Mental skill coaching is really taken from elite athletic training. Like when you see the Olympic trainers and what they do and how they will focus on things and get through certain adversities. So we do a lot of mental skills training with them. So my question was, in my group, how can we take that and use those mental skills training to everyday life, to business? And so these are some of the things I'm able to pull from that athletic world into the business and everyday life. Okay? So here it is. In order to, the rules for self-talk is keep it short and specific. No long paragraphs, just very short and a specific affirmation or declaration to yourself. Y'all had, I saw that on the web, lady with the, what was her name? Oh, there you are, And that, you were doing affirmations, right? I was like, man, that's cool. All right, that was cool. And then she said the atmosphere. So sometimes you have to be in the right atmosphere, okay? It has to be about, in first person, so it has to be about you. You have to be talking to yourself in first person tense. It has to be about right now. right now, today is the moment. That's all right. Probably one of my clients called. It has to be a positive phrase, and it has to avoid ironic processing. It has to avoid ironic processing. So if you don't know what that is, I'll give you an example, a couple examples of ironic processing. Had to have an MRI done on my knee. Yes, things are starting to break down. So I'm like, wow, okay, those are my knees. So I had to have an MRI done on my knee. First thing out of the technician's mouth was, whatever you do, don't move that knee. Right? So what did I want to do? Ironic process. All right? So it's almost like that word don't, for some reason, actually brings forth what you're saying, the other half of it. The other day we went to Ohio, and I got a last minute call to come to Ohio to speak.
Fun day, rap!
All right. All right. Some of y'all didn't. I remember, sir, you were at the event. Did you enjoy yourself? Did you enjoy yourself? Oh, yeah, I like that. Okay, cool. So one of my biggest fears is deers. Running into one. I live upper 29, Silver Spring Road. It has to be deer country, because they're everywhere. Somebody's hitting them. They're all over the place, right? So I'm like, one thing I don't want to do is hit a deer. So I left, it was like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I started out in my car to drive to Ohio. And it's dark, and I can't hardly see anything. And I was like, you know what? Please don't let a deer come out. Please don't let a deer come out. Please don't let, I was just saying, I said, just let me get to the main roads, and I'm okay. I had to get out of that Silver Spring area, because they're everywhere. So I was like, please don't let me hit a deer. And so I looked over to the right. You're like, you ain't gonna let me say it, man. I'm trying to get out. All right, so I looked over to the right, looked back to the left, and here he comes. I mean, it was my car and the deer. Only. We're the only people on the road. Here's the kicker. It was like he was trying to hit me. He was like doing like this. I'm like, what in the world is going on? But come on, man. I'm trying to be serious. All of that is about ironic processing. I manifested that deer.
The track that you focus on.
Right, yeah, right. And you know this. I know that. You know this. So you got to avoid this. When you're doing your self-talk, you got to make sure you're not bringing in these negative things. Like, for example, I don't want to be poor. I have to change the way I'm saying that, right? Because I'm using I don't want to be. So, pockets, nothing is jingling, right? So I got to change that. Stuff is folding. So okay. So I got to change that up, all right? So also you got to say it with meaning. It's one thing for me to say, I'm going to be great. I can say, I'm going to be great. Or I can say it with conviction. I'm really going to be great. So when you say it, when you do the self-talk, it has to have meaning to it. You have to believe it. And that goes back to your belief system. Okay? I'm starting to rock like Freddie Jackson. All right, and you got to repeat it often. So it can be something you do first thing in the morning. You can do it like right before going to bed. I would think that being entrepreneurs and business people like yourselves, you probably want to get that charge in the morning before you get out, right? All right. So you think you got all this down? Yes. You think you really got it?
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna make sure you got it. So here's what we're gonna do. I need a volunteer to come up here. To come up here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. Ash is cash.
You didn't hear
Sure.
Was it supposed to come now?
Yes, sir. Right now.
Just
Right now.
sure.
Right. In the present tense. Right now.
Present tense.
Right. Can I get one more?
Come on
Yes,
up,
please, come on
Come
up. Come on up.
Come on up.
I used to do these, and people would come up, and I had games that I would play with them. So I didn't know if y'all knew that or not, but no game today.
Oh, okay.
No game today, so y'all
No game
say.
today?
No game today. But here's, we're gonna practice this self-talk. But I'm gonna make sure it's ingrained in your system. Everybody's gonna get an opportunity to do what you're gonna see up here. All right? Here's what you can do back at your seats. And we're gonna stand up and do this, and we're gonna be loud, and we're gonna make the roof just pop off this place. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna say, what you gonna do? I ain't gonna do no talk. I So I'm thinking, because I'm thinking a deer or something. so stay with me. Right. You know, I'm right. All right. I am a dynamic speaker. I want you to confirm that in my spirit by saying you are a dynamic speaker. All right. In unison. Oh, you start, no, together, right? I am a dynamic speaker.
You are a dynamic speaker.
I am a dynamic speaker.
You are a dynamic speaker.
I am a dynamic speaker.
You are a dynamic speaker.
All right, y'all got this? I want you to get this. So I want you in groups of 3s or 4s. We're going to move around a little bit because it's a workshop, and in a workshop we get what? Dirty. And dirty. Right. Get dirty. So here's what I want you to do. Move around. Y'all can't stay with me. I know you want to stay with me. You'll move back. Thank you. Hey, give them a round of applause. All right. So, hey, team members, give me some assistance in breaking people up. I want y'all to get in groups of 3s or 4s. And we're going to do this. And I want to do this so everybody gets an opportunity to say what they believe about themselves and have it said back to them. So when you leave here today, it sticks with you. All right? But I want you on your feet. I want you on your feet.
Feel free to spread out. Feel free to spread out. Camera.
Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Now here's like, check me out. Here's how I know when the group is done. When everybody had a chance to go 3 times, you may have a seat, and that way I'll know how the flow is going. Okay? And then we'll bring it back in. And so we're going to do this, and I just want everybody to get a chance. Y'all want to practice one? All right. Everybody, hold on before you get going. It can be 3 or 4. 3 or 4. Y'all good? Y'all want one more instruction? Y'all want to do this? Y'all got it.
You adding more.
No, I'm just saying, y'all got it?
Yeah.
All right, okay. You ready? Don't be passive. Do not be passive. This is life-changing. Somebody's going to walk out here today and say, you know what, I believe it now. Because I said it once, and it was repeated back to me at least 3 times. Somebody's going to get like, you know what, I believe this is it now. I'm going to walk out here, I'm going to do my business. Now is the day that I'm going to make a change. You ready?
Ready. Yes.
Y'all got it. One person starts, and the rest of the group are repeating it back. Everybody gets a chance. You do it 3 times. All right, ready, set, go. Take the root ball. Take it off.
You are powerful. You are powerful. You are powerful. You are I am
All right, I love that. I love that. I love it. Wow.
Church dance.
Somebody put some money on it.
That's the workshop.
All right.
That's good stuff.
I got
That's
you.
good stuff. That's good stuff. How did that feel? There's a word, as I was listening online, and because I couldn't be here yesterday and half the day today, but I did plug in online, and I was like, wow, it's all about value. You know, what can I give that's over the top? Over the top. And when you're with your customers and clients, you should probably have that same mindset. What value can you bring to the table? You can only bring great value to the table if you maintain your uniqueness. And as everybody went around, most of you said something totally different, right? If you all said the same thing, the world would miss out on your uniqueness. And the world does not need another imitation of you. Nor do you need to be worried about how I'm designed and my blessings. Here's the danger to that. You don't know what it took. You don't know the journey.
Right.
All right? You don't know. So, and I'm going to give you a story about that, but you don't, you got to get from this thing of saying, I want what they got. You can go ahead. Yeah, because that thing is going to run you to the ground. Give you an example. There's a very popular speaker in this area that is one of my mentors. And when I first started working with him in 2002 or 2003, I was amazed at the stories he had. Just like that, he can come up with great stories. And so I'm sitting in the audience like y'all are in the classroom setting, and I'm saying, if only I had stories. Yeah, you know this ain't going good, right? Right. I was just saying, if only I could tell stories that will impact people like that, and just like on the drop of a dime, you can come up with a story. And I kept saying that, self-taught, and I got my story. Yeah, my brother, youngest brother, passed away. Like overnight almost. Life full of, just in front of him. And I say that story because he gave me a message when I went to go see him in the hospital for the last time. He looked at me, he couldn't hardly see anymore. He had, this crazy, I don't know what happened. This stuff just started to break down. And he turned to me and laughed and said, Brother Tony, whatever you do, live your life. Live your life. Whatever you do from this day on when you leave. And I didn't know, when I went out the room, I was backing out the doorway just looking at him. And that was the last time we actually had a chance to speak. That's the story. And I hope today, because of that story, someone will live their life today, right? But I kept asking for a story. Now I know what it takes to get stories. So now I don't ask for other people's stories. All right? Because you don't know what it takes. All right? Is that, y'all got that? Okay. All right. Did y'all feel like this? Right, that's what it feels like, to let that stuff go and know that you are a champion, that you are a winner, and today is the day that you will make these changes, right? 2 days of this, that's a lot of stuff. When I worked with Trevor last time, I was like, dude, I'm leaving the room. Too much information, right? So this is a release now. You were able to release all of that stuff in the last 2 days. Let's talk about, shift a little bit, we're going to talk about a focus reset. A focus reset. Here's something I learned from nature. There's a lot of stuff about life you can learn from nature and agriculture. Okay, I'm coming down your lane. All right, cool. All right, yeah. Nature, agriculture, a lot of stuff you can learn about your daily lives that will reduce a lot of stress. That will reduce it. If you just look at what nature does, it will help you reduce stress. Here's what I was taught. This is a peach. I don't know if you can see this. Well, matter of fact, can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a peach tree and like a branch or so. And you notice there's a lot of clusters of peaches there, right?
Dim the lights just for a little bit.
Could you dim the lights just a little bit so you can see that? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put that on there. Thank you. All right, so you see how you got this cluster of peaches here? Yeah. All right, now this is a lesson on focus. This is nature and focus. So here's what I learned. If I'm a peach grower and I want my peaches to be at a certain size, I got to cut some of these back because the nutrients that's in these vines is being spread across too many peaches. The nutrients that's supposed to go to these peaches is being spreaded to too many of them. So they will only grow a certain size. They will only grow a certain size because they have to share the nutrients that's going into this one branch. So the moral is that they're not, none of them are really growing to ultimate or the great potential that they could do. Because they're sharing this one branch here, this one U, and all of these peaches are trying to drain from you. You see what nature is telling you? What is nature telling you? Nature is telling you got to cut some stuff out. It's right here in nature. Entrepreneurs, you are, myself included, have the ability to just bring on so much stuff on your plate. Because you want it all. You want it all. You want to be great. But you're not this. This is where you're really having maximum potential because you prune some of the junk. Some of the stuff that really doesn't matter to you. You pruned it out the way. So you have a lot of projects going on, but no great performance in any of them because you're so spread it out. Oxygen, nutrients are being taken and not being used properly. Y'all got that? Mm-hmm. That's what nature. So you can switch this around by mastering goal setting. Did y'all have any talk about goal setting today at all? Any talk? No talk about goal setting?
We saved it for you.
We saved it for you.
Okay. I'm just asking, man. I said, come on, how y'all got to talk about goal setting? But I'm gonna talk about it from a different perspective. Different perspective. One, goals direct attentions and action. Goals make you narrow your attention and your actions in a particular direction by having goals. And y'all know that there's a saying that people who have goals tend to be more successful than people who don't have goals or limited goals. Y'all know that, right? Right. You should know that as entrepreneurs. They create more energy. I'm gonna prove it to you. When you have goals, it creates more energy. Anybody have a vacation coming up? Yes. You have vacation coming up? When is your vacation?
End of the month.
End of the month. Guarantee you, what's your name, sir?
Michael.
Michael, guarantee you, the last week of the month, I bet you get so much work done in that last week. Not only will you get your work done, you'll be running around, oh, I do that for you. I got it. Because you have a goal. You see that there's an end. There's a vacation. The vacation is the goal. So when you set goals, it actually can create energy when you know where you're going. Because if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. It may not be a good journey. So having goals actually create energy. You get excited when you have goals. Because you know what you got to do. Wake up. You're like, oh man, I'm going to knock this out today and knock that out. Because you got goals. No goals, you get frustrated. Because you don't know what you're going to do when you wake up. You're just up. You ever been so busy? And you're busy and I ask you, well, what you do today? Man, I was busy as I don't know what. What you get done? Nothing really. You're just moving stuff through a system of nothingness. But goals help you narrow your thought and you just bring back more energy to yourself because you set those goals. All right. Increase relevant learning. Y'all have had 2 days of relevant learning. So these are things that really impact your business. 2 days are relevant. We weren't talking about the game, who won last week, and stuff like that, who's on whatever reality show. Did you see what they did last week? The funny thing about that, there's supposed to be a reality show. How come the cameras are always there? I mean, they're there before you get there. So I'm going to talk to so-and-so, and we're going to have this little meeting today, and the camera's already there. I'm like, I don't get that. But it increased relevant learning. So 2 days of relevant information that you can focus on and use today. Here's the thing that kind of like is a trigger or a tripping point when it comes to goal setting though. There's 3 types. There's outcome goals, performance goals, and process goals. Outcome, performance, process. What's an outcome goal? I want to lose weight. I want to open my business. I want to be a millionaire. Oh, keep that point. Put a pin right there. I want to be a millionaire. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. That's an outcome goal. The thing about outcome goals, typically, outcome goals are not in your control. They typically are not in your control.
Wow.
Yeah, for example, you want to be a millionaire. It's going to take more than just the thought of being a millionaire. Also, it's going to take more than just you saying that that's my long-range goal. You have to include these other two steps to make it actually work. And I'll relate outcome goals in another fashion for you. If you play tennis, let's say you play tennis. You play tennis? Okay. So you want to beat me in a match of tennis. That's your goal. That's an outcome goal. You beating me is not totally up to you, because I might play better than you in that game. Or I may play bad, and you still may win. You don't know. It's an outcome goal. It may happen, it may not. But process goals and performance goals are when you get to the nitty-gritty. Performance goals are going to be about your excellence, your excellence. What's going to be your excellence in your journey? That's the process that you're going to do. Your process is going to be about excellence. Well, that's performance goals is about excellence. Your process goals is what is the thing to be a millionaire tomorrow? What's that process I'm going to do tomorrow? And then the next day. And then the next day. What's the process that's going to get me? What's the system I'm going to follow to get to being a millionaire? To be on the Olympic team. So me saying I want to be on the next Olympic team as a sprinter is an outcome goal. Especially when I haven't started at least walking a mile. I'm not even jogging right now, but I want to make the sprint team. That's an outcome. That's a long-range goal. It's an outcome goal. But I got to know what's going to be my performance goal. Am I going to really, when it comes to excellence, take care of my body right? Am I going to do the things? Am I going to be diligent about this stuff? And the process goals, what am I going to do daily to reach my outcome goal? All right. We'll talk to you about fear. I'm going to shake up something about fear real quick. Before I go into fear, in my book, Not Another Workout, by the way, it talks about clarity. And in there, it talks about setting SMART goals. SMART goals. And the acronym for SMART goals is, another acronym. I thought I was going to get away with just one. There's another acronym. And it's SMART goals. S-M-A-R-T. S-M-A-R-T. The S is make it specific. Make it specific. I want to lose weight. It's not specific enough. I want to lose 10 pounds in the next 30 days and reduce my dress size from a 10 to an 8 in the next 30 days. That's a little more specific, right? Now, I don't wear dresses, by the way. I don't know why I put that out there, but
TMI, baby, TMI, too much information.
I know, right? I don't know why I put that out there. I don't know. All right, measurable meaning, you'd have to be able to have a way of measuring what you say you're going to do. Attainable or action-oriented. It can be either or, attainable or action-oriented. When I gave you the thought about making the Olympic team in the next 4 years, and I don't even run now, that may not be, something that's very attainable right now. And it needs to be either, the R is either relevant or realistic. It has to be a realistic goal. And the T is making it time bound. Now, in my studies, they added another S to it. And that other S is self-directed. This is for, you to have employees or children. Because sometimes you want to give your kids goals, right? Give your kid a goal where they had no input in the goal being set. You see what happens. Give your employee a set of goals. This is what y'all doing today. And they had no clue it was coming. How do you feel when somebody gives you a goal? Here's the goal. Here's the structure. Here's the list of things you need to do today, and you had nothing to do with it. No say in the input at all. How do you feel? Not good, right? So when you say SMART goals, if you're doing it for someone else, you want to make sure it's also self-directed, that they have some input in setting the goals. You follow me on that one? Now, okay, facing fears. Everybody's talking about fear. I got a fear of this, I got a fear of that. I have some news for you today. Get over it. Fear is not going anywhere. As a matter of fact, fear is relative. It's all about perspective. And then again, this is not a law, anything. This is just my opinion. That fear, you're wasting too much time on trying to get rid of fear. I believe that fear is staying with you. I also believe that you don't get rid of it. You, through faith, learn how to go through it anyway. You don't get rid of fear. As a matter of fact, fear could be something that's very helpful for you. Case in point, I got friends of mine that want to skydive. Great for them. When I say I don't want to do it, they say I'm afraid. I say it's about perspective. I don't see any reason why. Okay, look, nothing's wrong with the plane. Why am I jumping out of a perfectly good plane? Just for the fun of it. Now, trust me, if something's wrong with the plane and they give me a parachute, I'm jumping. But they want to do it just for fun. I don't think I'm afraid. I think it just makes common sense. For me, it's just sense. So it's about perspective. So fear is actually keeping me safe. It's a tool. Didn't y'all talk about tools today? Fear is a tool. You ever thought about it that way? Fear is a tool. Fear keeps you humble. Before I came up here today, and I was talking to some friends earlier, and I said, I get kind of nervous, before going up in front of people. I do. I get kind of shaky. But that keeps me humble. That keeps me from thinking that I got it all together. That keeps me grounded. So why do I want to get rid of that? It's all about perspective. Then you got to think about it and ask yourself the question, is it true? What you're afraid of, is it really true? Typically, we go all the way over here that if I ask my employer for a day off, they're going to tell me I'm not a team player, and then they're going to fire me. Is that true? It could be, but is it absolutely 100% true? We don't know. The other side of the spectrum could be, they'll be happy to give me time off because they're about work-life balance. So here we are, and when we come up with the thought, we typically move to this spectrum, that the worst thing is going to happen. Yes, the worst thing is going to happen. But actually, we don't know. When we're able to make a reset and start thinking that the best thing could happen, then we can use fear, as a tool. Give you another example of fear as a tool. I'm going to go back to when we look at sports performance. My fitness people do probably like that. Anybody here does not work out right now?
Oh, we don't admit it.
You're not doing anything? As entrepreneurs, when you start looking at the elite entrepreneurs, they are all, that's part of their thing. I mean, you got a list of goals and stuff that you're doing today. Taking care of your body is very important. Very important to be an elite or a millionaire or whatever you're trying to be. You got to take care of your health. Whether it's just starting at what you're taking with food. Just start with the food. I'm getting off topic here, but because I can talk about the wellness part all day, but I want to show you a point here about fear. So this is performance. I'm just going to put that PR, whatever, performance. Anyway. And this is, what I want to tell you about this. This is, I have performance here, confidence. This is confidence. On this scale here, this is low confidence. When you have low confidence in what you're doing, you notice on the performance bar, performance is low. Okay? When you have, let's say, you're just confident about what you do, you see how your performance raises up when you're more confident about what you do? Now here's overconfidence. Uh-oh. Yeah.
Well, we need towels.
They're getting it.
They got it.
Okay.
Good.
House with you down.
All right.
Spill.
You see? This is overconfidence. When you're overconfident, what we saw was that overconfidence, once you get to that point, performance starts to drop off. When you're overconfident. Not when you're confident, when you're overconfident. You ever heard somebody say, oh, I gave them that game. Oh, they didn't want to buy from me anyway. No, you weren't prepared. Because you were overconfident that it was going to go through. We will be closing in 3 days, man. That's a slam dunk. Then it didn't happen. If you missed it, you didn't cross a T or dot an I or something like that. So what fear does, fear keeps you here. It keeps you balanced between being overconfident and confident. You want to be confident. You don't want to be overconfident and let your guard down. So why would you want to get rid of fear? Just a theory. I just think we waste too much time on trying to get rid of it. I think it's something you can harness with power and make a reset. It's a reset in thinking. You got it?
Got it.
Yes.
Look at me like, what? All right. Reset your health. Reset your health. This right here is a separate topic all by itself. I can go on this health talk forever. But all I want you to do when it comes to resetting your health, we already do that? Okay. I was going to have you create one goal, but because of the time y'all been here, so long, I'm just going to go ahead and go past that. Y'all know how to create a goal, all right? Is it true? What will you face now that you know that your fear does not have to really be true and that you can use it as a tool? What will you actually face now? That call you were supposed to make, you're like, man, I don't want to make this phone call. Go ahead and make the call. That thing you wanted to start, but you never really set the date. Go ahead and set the date. Something about setting a date that gets energy under your feet. Set the date. That conversation you wanted to have with an employee, but you know they're kind of like crazy. Have the conversation. So you have to, tell yourself, ask yourself, what are you going to do? What are you going to face now? What fear are you going to face? Because it's really not, false evidence appearing real and all that type of stuff. Use fear as a tool now to get your adrenaline going. What are you going to do? What are you going to do today? All right? Then you can create a goal. You can do that on your own. Health is about reclaiming your energy. Get your energy back. I think one of the most wasted resource on the planet is human energy. Not oil, gas, electricity. What about the human energy? Because the human energy helps cultivate all that stuff. You don't have human energy, what do you have? Nothing. Thank you, my dear. Nothing. You have goals and dreams. You finally get to your business open, and you open up the door, and then you have a heart attack. Because you're stressing trying to get there. You got to take care of the source first. You got to take care of your energy, reclaim your energy. There's only a couple things you got to do. It's real easy. All you got to do, 4 areas: take care of your nutrition, eat better, do some type of resistance training. I ain't say you got to be Arnold Schwarzenegger or anything like that. Sometimes it might be you moving your body as resistance. Okay. Again, this is something I love to talk about, but I'm not today. Cardio. Get that heart pumping. Get nutrients and stuff going throughout the body. We do a thing in my house where we do, from a nutritional standpoint, we eat food. Like we make a plate. We'll make a plate, right? And on that plate, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm trying to give you an example of how I eat. We eat food that are comprised of one ingredient only. One ingredient, I call it the one ingredient meal plan. Here's how it works. I don't have a piece of fish. I'm not going to do it because it's kind of like, I don't have any place. Piece of fish. What other ingredients is in fish? Fish. It's fish. Nothing else in there, right? So I might have a potato. What else? And this is aside from pesticides and all that type of stuff. I'm talking, you know, right? Actual ingredients. So if I eat a potato, right? What else is in a potato? Potato. Maybe some vegetable, broccoli or spinach or something like that. Spinach, broccoli. Here's what's happening when I do that. When I eat one ingredient type foods on my plate, my body and my brain recognizes what that is. When I eat foods and stuff made out of all these compounds and stuff, my body and my brain can't recognize what it is fast enough, so you overeat. Because they can't tell you that you're full. Y'all get that? So if you have to look at the back of the box and read stuff that you cannot pronounce, and that's going to be your plate because it's quick and easy, then expect the results. Your belief, remember your beliefs and attitude, you take certain actions and those are the results you get. I went all the way back to the bar. I didn't know that was going to happen. That just happened today. All right, so, but I think what I'll do, Trevor and your team, I think what I'll do is one day just do just an all-out wellness thing with my wellness trainers that are here and that's been here over the last 2 days, and just like do a wellness kind of like educational workshop conference thing. I see hands shaking because that's dear to me, especially if you have people that have passed only because of neglect. No other reason but neglect. So I can't do it here because we got to move on and I want y'all to get home to your families and stuff like that. But stay connected. Remember I gave you my information? Stay connected because I think I'm going to do that.
Okay, okay.
All right. Next thing you want to do is keep it fun. Keep it fun. So, in order to keep it fun, every once in a while you got to shake it up a bit. I have another fitness person here. Yeah, I know, right? You didn't know that? My dear, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. All right. So, if you're ready, put your books and papers down. You just might say, let's do it. All right. I think I might not join you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's only you now. You only got a couple minutes.
What happened?
5 minutes on right here. It's 5 minutes.
What are we doing?
Mix it up.
Oh, okay. Oh, you need a eraser?
Huh?
Yeah,
I'm cool. Yeah.
Oh, no, no.
Did you want me to do
You can get an eraser right now.
Oh, yeah, give me an eraser. I'll show you a plate. I'll show you a plate.
We're taking a break?
No.
Oh.
She's getting ready to shake them up. Where'd she go? Oh, here she go. She's getting ready to move them up a little bit. Yeah. Oh, she got all the stuff on?
Take it off, take it off. Get it off, get it off.
We're going to turn in a minute. We're going to turn to the right. To the right. Woo! Take this stuff, girl. To the left.
Come on, Antonio.
Wow. 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 No, I do know CPR. CPR.
Shake it like it's good. 4. I have forgotten. Shake it. All right.
Oh, good.
I'm thinking black man videos.
Right. Oh, now I can do that. That's like my old
Back it up, down, y'all. Y'all need to cool down. Okay. Y'all like that? So make sure you stand up here and let everybody know your name and how they can get in contact with you, and people looking on the web and here in the audience, and we got to wait with giving your information.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mika Izar. Mika Izar. And what I just presented was a demonstration of Zumba. So it's Latin rhythms. Get your cardio up a little bit. Get you active. So if you're interested in what I do and what I present, you can find me at. Ready? Yep. That's Normika, Nora, MICA, dot, IZZARD, dot, Zumba, ZUMBA.com. Okay?
All right. I have a heart. You got the belt on your website? In the wellness. I have a heart disease. I did it for a long time. And I know that.
Esther said y'all was guilty. Y'all was dancing. Y'all wasn't exercising. She said she saw y'all move. Dr. Barron, she said she saw you. Esther, she is not your sister. She saw you dancing. She said she got the moves. Who's that lady in the back? That's Dr. Alex. That's Dr. Alexander Barron. Who? She's a principal too. You can put it on her website. Her students will love that.
So, Trevor, we had another statement from a viewer.
Yep, I'm gonna pull it up. Yeah, Ruth Bradford. She says, I am a powerful change agent and entrepreneur. As a matter of fact, we're gonna confirm Ruth right now. Ruth says, I am a powerful change agent and entrepreneur.
You are a powerful change agent and entrepreneur.
Right? I am a powerful change agent and entrepreneur.
You are a powerful change agent and entrepreneur.
One more time, I am a powerful change agent and entrepreneur.
You are a powerful change agent and entrepreneur.
Bradford, you were in the house.
Wow. Okay. That's all I can say sometimes. I had a request to show this plate on how you can just manipulate your plate a little bit. It's called working your plate. So this is what a plate, especially if you're trying to reduce calories, but keep all of your nutrients, is what I call working a plate. So I take a plate and I break it down into these sections. This section right here is going to be, let's say right here, this is my protein. That's my portion of protein. This section right here is going to be my starch or carb. My starch or carb. What do you think this is going to be on my plate? Vegetables. So is that hard to do? Somebody said yes. Now I'm not going to stand here and say that you're not going to feel a difference when you eat like this. But anything that's worthwhile, sometimes you have to fight through it. And this is worthwhile. So that's something simple you can do starting today. Just take your plate and work your plate a little differently. Portion of protein, meat, or if you're into tofu and stuff like that, protein, a starch, a rice or pasta, especially if you're ready to run the next day or something like that, you want to start getting those carbs in. And mostly vegetables, so stuff you get throughout your body, okay?
And a small plate.
And a smaller plate, yeah. Not a, what's that restaurant? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Not one of those plates. Yeah, because let's say this is a barbecue plate. So normally this is all twisted around, right? This is the protein. And then we have a little bit of vegetables right here and a little bit of something else. So but no, work your plate a little bit. All right, can I get back here? So whatever you do, keep it fun. Now I'm bringing my plane in for a landing. Bringing this plane in. I see. All right, so I'm not even going to say this real quick. I am going to say it real quick. But I want, if you're interested, I'm not finished, but I just want to get this out of the way. If you're interested in resetting your life, turning things around, I want to invite you to a 90-day challenge. Just 90 days of your time for a lifetime. And in there, I'm going to use a lot of the coaching skills that we use in the elite athletes and performance. I'm going to use it in your daily life to turn things around. I mean, I'm going to be doing things that has to do with your confidence level. Here we go. Communication, your philosophy, anxiety. We're going to talk about the emotional wheel and how your emotions can affect the decisions you make day to day. Not get your emotions under control. Health and wellness, of course. Visualization. There was a study where, I do it all the time. Like knowing that I was going to speak here today, I already did this like 3 times. I did this already 3 times because I knew where it was going to be at. I saw the room and I started visualizing myself standing here before you talking. There's a power in that. Motivation, of course, goal setting. You'll get deeper into goal setting because today you learned that there was 3 different types, and focusing on one type is not going to get you there. So all of that stuff is going to be in the 90-day challenge. It's a weekly group call. There's something about being in the community where you know people that are together to hold your hand and you can confer in the community like, hey, well, that was kind of rough. That was a rough assignment last week, wasn't it? And you said, yeah, it was. You can talk and communicate with each other back and forth. It's recorded for your convenience. So if you miss a call, because you have the link to it, you'll be able to go to the recorded version of it. You can participate at home or office or anywhere. If you're traveling, say, I want to listen to the call, I want to listen to the challenge over the last 90 days. Let me go ahead and listen to that. And there's only $297 one time. or I can break it down into 2 months. But here's what I saw on the web, in the 2 pages. Here's what I saw on the internet. I saw that everybody was giving stuff away. I said, you got to be kidding me. I'm in for-profit business. All right? I am. So, but on my way here, I said, okay, I got to do something different. This is not even printed. I don't have it printed anywhere. What I'm going to do is let you have the 90-day challenge one time, $99. One time. And you get the 90-day challenge. Okay. So that's some good, powerful stuff. And I'm giving it away. One session, one personal training session, one life coaching session is over $300. Y'all know that, right? One hour personal training. My trainers in the DC, Virginia area, anywhere from $60 to $100 for 1 hour. And that's just working you out. I'm talking about going deep. All right, so $99 is like a 1 hour personal training session, but it's covering 90 days. Weekly calls, okay? So I'm not going to belabor that. If you want that, it's available for you. I'm moving on, okay? Can you hit the light, please?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Lights, please. Now, I did that. That was a beautiful, beautiful swing, wasn't it?
It sure was.
All right. My swing is nothing like that. All right. Here's what. One day I was coming to the CEO Business Cafe. It had to be, this might have been last year or earlier this year, and I was doing a presentation. On my way out the door to get here, I saw this golf club sitting in the corner. And I tell you, this was just, it just hit me. I was on my way out the door, throwing stuff in the car, and I looked over in the corner, and there it was, looking at me. Sometimes you just get stuff. You just get it. And so this was given to me, and I want to show you what I call life in the swing. Life in the swing. And it's where I figured out that everything you need to know about moving forward in your life can be summed up in one golf swing. I'll prove it to you. Can I get a volunteer? You know about golf? Anything about golf?
I love golf.
Are you serious? Yeah. Come on, come on. This is going to be great. This is cool. Thank you so much. Let's give her a round. All right, here it is.
What is it?
I gave you a hug earlier, didn't I?
You sure did.
Give her another, just to make sure.
Who said that?
That's that William Murray again. Again.
And then you can never get enough hugs. There you go.
Hey.
You see, I had to deal.
Yes, I'm staying in my lane. All right, here we go. Your job is really easy.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you a question about golf. And if I'm right about it, I want you to say, you're right.
Okay.
If she says that I'm right, I want you to say, very loud, sure you're right. It's going to look like this. I'm going to say something about golf, and you're going to say,
You're right.
Sure you're right.
okay, that was, you think they got it?
They got it.
I thought it was kind of weak.
Oh, yeah.
You want to try one more time? Blah, 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 blah.
You're right.
Sure you're right.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Okay, so step aside a little bit.
Yes.
So I want, because I don't want to hit you with this. All right. All right, so here's what I learned about life in a golf swing. Pay close attention. I only had a couple lessons. So there's nothing you're going to learn from me today about your golf game. All right, so it's not going to happen. But here's the first thing they told me, and you can confer with this, that first I had to work on my grip. Am I right?
You are right.
Sure you're right.
All right, so here's what I thought about when I said, okay, I got to work on my grip. That's something about life. In life, you got to get a grip on things. You got to stop having a victim mindset. You got to be willing to push forward, and you need to be able to bring everything in. Okay? Get a grip.
You're right.
All right.
Sure
you're right.
All right. So then, they said, you know, when I come up to the ball, they call it addressing the ball. Am I right?
You're right.
Sure, you're right. All right. So what that told me about my life was that in life I couldn't just go around situation. I had to address the current situation that was coming at me. Y'all get that? Addressing. And I had to address the situation in my life. Because especially men, we have a tendency to say, oh, it'll go away eventually. It's not going anywhere, it's just getting bigger. You know? The wife says she needs to talk to you, like, crap. Oh, I know what this is going to be about, you know, because the moment is about you messed up somewhere.
Show you right.
Show you right.
Root rapper says, show you right.
All right, so I had to get a grip. I had to address my current situation. But before I could actually make the swing, I had to confer with a colleague. Because what I'm about to do, I may not even have the right tool. I may not even have the right tool for what I'm about to do. So I had to get a coach. Am I right?
You are right.
Show you right. All right, so in life, instead of waiting around trying to figure out everything on your own and by yourself, y'all have people around here in 2 days helping you and are willing to help you go forward. It's up to you now to make the decision to move forward with it. We can't do it for you. We only got maybe 1 hour with you, you know, when we're coaching and stuff like that, but there's 23 more hours that you got to do some things. So you got to get some advice. So now I got a little bit of advice. I've got my grip. You're in a bad place for that. I got my grip. I've addressed the ball. I've gotten some advice. And then together, me and my coach, we're looking because before I can swing, I got to see the layout of the land. Am I right?
You're right.
Sure, you're right. Yeah, because there might be some sand traps, some wedges, some rough, water, people. You know, you got things in your way. So in life, things are going to come at you, so expect it to come. Especially when you're trying to do something great. Especially when you're trying to do something great. You know you're on the right path when you're trying to do something and the computer breaks down. You know, yeah. You know this is the day you're going to make this big presentation and you can't find your thumb drive. You know, things just go bad, but you got to keep pushing on. So you got to know that things are going to happen to you, but you got to be willing to have the fortitude to keep on pushing. Okay, y'all got it?
Show you right.
All right. So I've done all of that. So now I'm ready for my swing. The camera right there. I think I'm pretty good. I think I can get it right in the camera lens. I'm not going to hit it too hard. I'm not going to hit it too hard. So, okay, so I'm here. Now I'm ready to take some action, right? So my action is I have to actually hit the ball. I have to hit the ball. So before I can hit the ball, what do I need to do? I need to look at the ball, and looking at the ball is doing what?
Focus.
Focus. Am I right?
You're right.
Show you right.
All right, so I have to focus on what I'm about to do. Now I'm ready to take my action. You are so scared, aren't you? You like, yeah. Okay, so, all right, I'm getting kind of excited too. So I'm here. All right, here we go. Don't stop. Here we go. I'm not going to hit it too hard. So I go back, and I got to rotate around, and I come back. Do I stop right here? No. What do I have to do? Sure, you're right. All right, so in life, no matter what you decided to do, if you stop short of actually following through, it doesn't work. Wow. So today, before you leave here, I want to tell you to follow through on your dreams, follow through on your goals, follow through on your relationships, follow through on your passion, and be all that you can be today. I thank you so much.
We're getting ready to do our closing ceremony picture. If you've never got a chance to be a part of this is the moment that you've been waiting for. It's going to take less than 5 minutes, but I need 2 things to happen for this to happen. First of all of the women in the room, come to the front, quickly. All the women in the room, come to the front, quickly. All the women in this room. Every person in the building needs to be in this room. Hey, look out in the ring. All the women, quickly do it. Y'all see me online, look at all these beautiful women. Okay. Guys, you guys were not to be left out. So I got something special for you. Come on down, ladies. Come on down, ladies. Okay. This is what we need to happen. Guys, I need you guys to move these chairs off the. I need you to get them off. Stack them up. Black, yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow.
Black, yellow.
Don't worry. If you guys who are new, don't tell them what is about to happen. This is only for the people who are here. By the way, if you get your purse out there, you can run it real quick. Quickly though, quickly.
5 in the stack.
5 in the stack. Black, yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow. 5 in the stack. By the way, if you're watching online, you don't want to miss this moment. This is the moment that you're going to remember. We want you to be a part of this moment. You getting ready to see something phenomenal.
I need something to stand on.
So again, you can put them against the wall.
Put that one down. We'll put a black on top of that.
Linda Nan says, show you right. Antonio Chi, she says, show you right.
All right.
Black, yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow. The moment that you guys are getting ready to experience
5 in the stack. 5 in the stack.
time to change your life. Somebody find Lyndon Gwynn, Loretta Lancaster. Somebody find Loretta Lancaster, Lyndon Gwynn. Does anybody know Torreya Hodges still here? How you doing? Right. Does anybody know Torreya Hodges still here? Okay. Just want to make sure. Want to clear everything off the middle of the room. If you're watching online, you're getting ready to see magic. You're getting ready to see something phenomenal. Let's go, folks. The last time you hit the ball for real.
That just cost Trevor.
I said, if you don't break out that golf hat, I was going to be disappointed if you break out the golf hat.
I didn't use the orange one, but you know.
Black, yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow. Okay. First things first, you guys kind of spread out real quick, and let's just make sure our online audience can see us and see what's going on. We just make sure we can see the whole crowd. First things first. This is our closing ceremony. This is your graduation ceremony. You have graduated. You have taken it to the next level. A couple of small things we need to do. First things first. First things first. Events like this are not possible without people hiding behind the scenes, making everything flow smoothly. So the very first thing I want to do is I want to give a round of applause to our events coordinator for this event, Torreya Hodges. Come on, man. Okay. Also on her staff was Kia Coppage. Come on. And they have a very special offer. I want you guys to see her. They're going to pay for 1 month of marketing coaching. 1 month of marketing coaching for those who want to see the very special offer. You want to see it at the table to find out how to take advantage of that offer. Okay. Also, we had Mr. Lyndon Greer. Let's put your hands together. In addition to that, our videographer, Mr. Ayo Jean-Claude. Yes. Don't worry, I got it. In addition to that, all right, we had work in the front yesterday, Miss Loretta Lancaster. This event would not be possible without the proprietors of the CEO Business Cafe, the power couple of the year. Put your hands together for Rick Hopkins. Before we take the closing ceremony graduation picture, you know, can't have graduation without the picture. A couple small things. The question that you got to answer yourself is, what are you going to do next? What are you going to do next? I mean, where are you going to go from there? Go home and feel good? Go home and look good? but you got to do something. So I'm just going to be, there's going to be no sales pitch. Here's what you need to do. Get a coach. We have two options. It's very simple. You can get group coaching, which you can get online, because the #1 product in America is what?
Convenience.
You can continually coach at home every 2 weeks, every other week. You can do it online. We got some people that be watching online now, like Sharon Green. And so if you want to be a part of that, we're going to just pass these papers out. You will turn them into us later. Some of you guys are beyond group coaching. You need some one-on-one help. We only take 4 people every quarter. Keisha, come on out. Keisha, come on down with you. Keisha, would you come on down? Let's give me another hand to Keisha. Classes here, and then dig a little bit. She took her heels off. She said, "Oh, look at my heels." But we appreciate you so much. And so we do have a combo coaching course with Keisha and myself. We do social media coaching, marketing coaching. We basically help you get your act together. So on that side, we just pass that paper around, and you don't need to take a look at it. You can take a look at it after, but just fold it up and put it in your pocket. If you want to talk about coaching, what's next is you need to have a plan, a systematic plan in place to take your business to the next level. Does everybody understand that? Yeah. All right, couple of small things before we take our picture. I just want to bring our speakers up one by one, and just want you guys to show them some love. First person I want to bring up is the app guy, Eric Gazard. Come to the middle of the room. You also have the, right there in the middle. Also, put your hands together for Mr. Shay Brown, sales Put your hands together for the international sensation, Ash is Cash. Put your hands together for Antonio Somebody raised their game. Somebody messed around and asked the question, what's your what? Millionaire hustle. Put your hands together for, oh, that's a hot You might not know. I mean, I know we in Greenville, but somebody told me by the name of Rick Hopkins that we're not in Kansas anymore. We got to do something different if we want to take our business to the next level. Put your hands together for Rick Hopkins. We learned about the 5 top advertising mistakes that you don't want to make, advertising secrets from Mr. Brock Lancaster. Put your hands together. Right? Now, I know that if you've been here long enough, if you've been watching long enough, you probably heard this name called from the stage or any other name in the entire place. I want y'all to put y'all hands together for the common sense expert, Billy Mary. DVDs for sale, and so we wanted to make sure to mention that we get DVDs for sale. But one of the things I want you to do is, if you met somebody that you truly appreciated, right, support them. I think we got one more. Where's the king of video magic? Where's our video magic? I Sean, put your hands together. He filmed the whole thing. If you want to get the DVD for only $50, you got to see Io, but put your hands together for Io. By now, everybody has the forms, right? We had a very special offer from one of our corporate sponsors, which was Viridian Energy, and they said, well, we want to make sure that everybody got at least 1 month of free coaching. And so what they did, they graciously decided to underwrite your first month of free coaching. All they're asking you to do is do something that you can do free of charge. All you got to do is give them a try for 1 month, give them a chance to see if they can lower your electricity bill. It doesn't cost you $1, and for that, they're going to pay for 1 month of free coaching for you. And all you got to do is go to see her, and she's going to give you a certificate that you'll be able to turn in to us for a voucher, free month worth of group coaching. Online, we call it the Bunny Slipper Coaching Program. Let's put your hands together for Kia College. But we did have another special person. I left out our focus expert. Get focused, get focused. Put your hands together for Deanna DeWitt. What you're starting to see is the circle is forming. But if you know anything about circle, the circle is not complete till we have you. So I want everybody to bring your hands to the circle, bring your hands to the circle, get ready for the picture. This is our graduation picture. Find the space, get a space, get a space, get a space, get a space. Put your hands in the middle, put your hands in the middle. Give me that.
Trevor, hey, Trevor, 98.6, bro.
Don't worry, they'll survive. They survived this long. They will survive. By the way, if you are watching online, we believe that you are in the picture with us. By the way, just real quick, just say hello to our audience, just real quick. We love you. Y'all are graduating right along with us. Somebody let Trevor get his head in there. This is our graduation picture. We're going to hold that for a few seconds so you can get a few in. And then, Linda, when you get a chance, you won't believe Shake. And then he'll get a couple shots with himself in there. I got it. You can go over as well? I got it. Okay. Shake Brown is an extraordinary. Oh! Look, y'all should buy his book at least for that.
All right.
All good. Go for it.
Where's the shirt? All three. 1, 2, 3. Say hello. One more. 1, 2, 3. Hello. One. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. There you go.
Oh, 1 second. Okay, Linda, come on down real quick, Linda.
Go.
Okay, Shay, switch out with Linda. Just hold tight. Look, you'll be hot. You'll be okay. Look, we get a little warm. Right? Oh, yeah. Make sure you get the little one. I want you to do it under. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You messed it back a little bit. Woo! Thumbs up. Let's give a thumbs up.
No, you have to get to look through the eye. You better back up.
Here now.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Another one.
One in there?
Yeah.
Watch it now.
One more.
All right.
Okay, come on now. Say, keep your hands in. Make sure everybody's talking to somebody. Keep your hands in. Loretta, come on in. Bring your hands in. No. Everybody come back in. Everybody come back into the circle. Loretta, come back into the circle. Follow the insurance. Linda, come on back into the circle. Put your hands in. Does anybody see Deanna DeWitt? Deanna DeWitt, please give us our closing affirmation for the day.
All right. So let's put our hands together and say it from your heart. I am a champion.
I am a champion.
I am confident.
I am confident.
I am powerful.
I am powerful.
And I will win.
We are so glad you come out to the business group. Thank you so much. If you want one-on-one coaching, you can reach out to me at 301-485-9411. That's 301-485-9411. Send me a text message and I'll be glad to help you take your business to the next level. Thank you so much. This has been another Business Boot Camp production. See you on the top. We'll see you from.
Music CDs. The lady that does the dance, she said there was her 2 music CDs or somewhere.